Strumming by itself is pretty tricky, so before getting into this, I'd recommend getting pretty comfortable with just rhythmic patterns in general. This I'm going to be adding to my other rhythm video. So what we have is open chords and bar chords, and how we're both going to mute these differently. I'm going to be using a pretty simple rhythm in order to kind of get us used to this. The rhythm for that is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Pretty basic. The trick is that we're going to be muting on the 2s and 4s. So I'm using an open E minor as my first example. Open chords are probably a little bit trickier than bar chords to mute because we have all these open strings to deal with. How I recommend doing that is by using our palm. Alright? So if I take that E minor chord, put our rhythm in there, it's going to sound a little bit more syncopated if I start muting on the 2s and 4s. Alright, so on the 2s and 4s. 1 and mute, and 2, 3 and mute, and 1 and mute, and 3 and mute. Alright, I'm almost slapping my guitar to get us used to this. To get it a little bit more percussive sounding, what I recommend doing is try getting used to your palm and your pick hitting the strings at the same time. This is pretty tricky. It kind of almost sounds like a snare hit though. It sounds pretty percussive. At that point, my pick and my hand are both hitting the strings at the same time. It's almost that my palm is there just a tad bit earlier to mute it, so that way you're not hearing anything else. So if we take a progression like G, D, E minor, C, put that rhythm in there. Can't stress enough, make sure you can hit your palm there first before you kind of get into that rhythmic simultaneous strumming with your pick and your palm. Now on to bar chords. What we're going to be doing with bar chords is going to be a little bit simpler, is that we don't have to focus on our palm at all. Now all the muting is going to be coming from our left hand. So something to kind of get used to this is just by taking like a 6-string major bar chord. I'm at A, which is on the 5th fret right now. There's my chord, lifting up. Try getting used to that a couple times. That way if we take our same rhythm that we were just doing, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, now let's lift up on the 2s and 4s. 1 and mute, and 3 and mute, and 1 and mute, and 3 and mute. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. What I'm doing is I'm lifting up my fingers right there. If I take that same chord progression that I just did a minute ago, G, D, E minor, C, put that into bar chord shapes, that would be 6th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, major, 5th fret, 7th fret on the 5th string, and then 3rd fret on the 5th string, major. Notice getting that percussive sound with our bar chords is a little bit easier, since all our right hand has to do is just continuously strum.